Good morning, dear students. Today we will start the second chapter of economics, that is economic liberalization and globalization. In the last chapter, you have already learned about developed and developing economy, different types of economic and non-economic activities, what are the factors of production, what kind of economy do India follow. So all these things we have already learned. Now, in order to develop, what were the changes which were brought in our economic system, we will learn today. In this chapter, you will learn about LPG. In order to achieve speedy economic development, the government of India introduced LPG. What was this LPG? Liberalization, privatization, and globalization. After independence, also, India was having some industries which were working, and most of the Indian population was working on agricultural farms. We all know that maximum population of our country depends upon the agricultural sector for their daily livelihood. So it was quite difficult for the Indian government to achieve, good monetary and physical policy. Right, the rates and the development was not that much enough. So in order to acquire more developed economy, Indian government approached international banks for development of the country. These agencies asked Indian government to open its restrictions on trade done by the private sector and between India and other countries. That means what they suggested, that the existing government enterprises are not able to bring up the economy. So it's time to introduce new private enterprises as well as to privatize the existing government sector companies also, so that the production can be increased and more success can be achieved. Under this, the economic liberalization was introduced. What does it mean? Economic liberalization is the lessening of government regulations and restrictions in an economy in exchange for greater participation by private entities. In India, there were just number of Indian, private companies which were there in that era, because more and more people who wanted to start any new industry, they were supposed to face many sort of barriers, like licensing was required, registration was required, the limited transaction were, permission, they were permitted. So there were many restrictions which they supposed to face. So under liberalization process, uh, what happened, private sector has got an opportunity to make enormous amount of development, which led to increase in production. Because of accepting policy of liberalization, global trade started getting an, getting a boom. Increase in global trade was seen, right? And increase in foreign trade was also seen. When more production was done, then more and more things were actually exported, right? And different countries were getting introduced with the Indian production. We were actually superior in the agricultural products. Till today, also, students, we all we all should know that India is exporting most of the agricultural products to the different parts of the world. But there were some disadvantages also. In spite of a decrease in restrictions, monopoly could not be checked, because, like in any particular sector, there are number of companies. If you just take a telecommunicating sector, telecommunication, many companies are there. Initially, if you see, BSNL was the only player in this sector, but later on many other industries came, many other companies with the same service came into existence, and lots of competition can be seen. A focus has only been paid on industrial sector. India has remained backward in development in agricultural field. That means in industrial sector, more and more new technologies, investment and growth can be seen. But in agricultural sector, those same tools and techniques are used to grow and harvest the crops. Now there has been increase in disparity of income also. The people who are working in private enterprises, they are getting more salaries, right? And the people who are doing labor work, they are more in numbers, because in India, you all know that somewhere, because people are not that educated, so they don't get chance to work with these private enterprises. So they just keep on giving their labor services, so they are paid very less. And because of increase in imports and decrease in exports. Yes, student, in some sectors India is importing a lot many things, but in exports it is not that good. So foreign debts means the loans which we have taken from the other countries have also been increased. Now the next thing which we need to discuss is privatization. Privatization means when an existing private firm enters the market, or when an existing government organization is run by a private individual, right? So privatization can be done by various methods. What are these methods? First, those areas which are reserved for public sector are open for the private sector also, right? So that is one method by which privatization can be done. And the other one is when the ownership of state owned companies is kept under the state government, and the charge of management is given to the private companies. That is also a method by which privatization can be done. What were the advantages which were seen here? There is increase in number of production units in industrial sector, right? Production has been increased in capital intensive and consumable commodities. Consumable commodities like normal toothpaste and FMCG, fast moving consumer goods like tea, sugar, the daily need commodities, right? Due to privatization, the production of these sort of commodities increased. Working capacity of public sector has improved due to privatization of public sector enterprises. Means when now public sector enterprises, they have powers, and private sectors, they have more and more labors and more technologies and more knowledge about the things. So when these two go hand in hand, no, though you can just imagine then what will be the tendency of development. But what were the some loopholes in the system? Loopholes means what were the disadvantages in the system? Economic power has centralized as a result of privatization, because of which level of monopoly has increased. In some sectors, only some individuals are, like if you see right now in telecommunication sector, I told you initially what came in existence, BSNL. Now in today's era, if you see, Jio has played so smartly that everybody is having Jio, because so many free services they are providing. So privatization actually, it plays according to the demand of people, right? And because of which monopoly is seen. Like if you see in soft drinks, Pepsi and Coke, these are the two huge players which can be seen. There are very less number of soft drinks which are there in India, if you see, right? To say these sort of things are seen, means these types of disadvantages are also there under privatization. Now, the third and very important thing which we need to know is globalization. What is globalization? When the country's economy is open towards the world's economy, the process is called as globalization. Globalization is the process of connecting, understand student please, connecting one country's economy with the world's economy, as a result of which flow of goods, services, technology and labor is easily available in the world, right? That means when the people, they get to work with the countries from different people, they get to work with the companies from different countries of the world. That process is called as globalization. Okay, globalization is a process in which the people are open towards the culture, technique of working, various technology, information, even flow of money can also be seen amongst different countries. Now where in the name itself it is given globalization, on the global level when it is done, that process is known as globalization. Globalization have various effects on our economy. Globalization in one way it is a good thing also for our economy, but it has some of the disadvantages also. Globalization, it actually maintains trade between two nations. Okay, and in such a condition, you know capital exchange can easily take place between two nations, and some difficulties which were seen in the exchange of technology has been removed also. Free exchange of labor may be there among different nations of the world. Like you all know, some people are there, those who work in MNCs. MNCs are, what are MNCs? Multinational companies. Multinational company means, multinational means some one, more than one nation are involved, right? More than one nation is involved in that particular company. Like maybe somewhere the project is being uh, you know processed, or somewhere from somewhere some engineers are required from one country, some resources have been put in. Means more than one nation when there is involved, that company is called as multinational company. Disadvantages, what are the disadvantages of globalization? The right, and you can say the interest of domestic producers was not given importance. Under globalization, people are so open towards the other countries that the domestic producers are suffering somewhere. Expected success has not been attained in finding solution to the problem of poverty and unemployment due to globalization. In India, you have seen people who are poor, they are really poor. People who are rich, they have lots of wealth. So this difference, this gap is not filled. Developing countries have not acquired proper benefits of increase in exports, which they should have acquired after globalization. Even large scale industries have acquired more benefits, while some scale industries have obtained less benefits. Now, students, it becomes very important that LPG was introduced, countries started growing, countries still developing. So, is there somebody who keep a check on this process, how the different countries are trading with each other, and if there is any, issue or dispute among the countries, then who solves it? So, there are few things left to understand and left to know in this chapter, which we will do in the next session. Thank you for now.